let's get you the next set of visuals that we are going to be discussing here at the War Room Watch. In fact, war has been expanding, as we were discussing at Gulf nations. U.S. Embassy has been shut down in Kuwait as well as Riyadh. The U.S. Embassy shutdown has happened till further notice, is what we know. U.S. has cancelled all the emergency consular appointments as well. And we are going to get you visuals specifically from Riyadh, where consular services have been shut down in several of the missions across Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, more visuals which are coming in. Let's show you more visuals which are coming in. This one is of how Iran is continuing to target Iraq as well. U.S. military base near Erbil airport has been struck. This is the latest visual which is coming in. Sources are telling us that there's been a drone attack on U.S. military base and massive explosions have been reported at Erbil as well. As you can see, these are the visuals which are coming in from Erbil. And you can see these sparks go up high up in the air. Gives us an idea of the magnitude of the strike which has happened in Iraq. This is not the first time. Remember, Iran has been raining missiles as well as drone attacks have been happening in Iraq since the last 3 days now. This is the latest one which is coming in again. This is the U.S. military base. It's important for us to point out Iran, yes, you're right, as our panelists were also telling us, Iran says that they are not targeting civilians. What they are targeting are the military installations of America. However, can civilian damage be avoided? That's the question. In a war, there is collateral damage, and let's not forget that it is a high possibility that there are other civilians as well. And this, remember, is a U.S. consulate base. There is a possibility of more casualties. We are waiting for more details to come in. Meanwhile, let me go back across to Colonel Pushnik Shen. Sir, how would you like to understand this kind of a strike that we have seen on U.S. installations? It's very disturbing now when you have the American president go on record saying that we are in it forever, that they are ready for a forever war.
Well, I wouldn't say that this is a kind of escalation, because since the beginning of the war, the Iranians were targeting the Gulf Emirates and especially the U.S. military installations over there. So apparently now moving to diplomatic assets and so on is the same path in order to send the message to the United States in a way that will deter them. However, it's totally, I would say, a kind of a miscalculation, because the U.S. and Israel are having a war plan, I would say, that will enable I would say, destruction of many facilities inside Iran, no matter what the Iranians are now doing or provoking. So I see, for instance, the attack on the U.S. embassy in Riyadh as a part of a desperate activity of Iran, because they believe they will have an effect on the U.S. considerations. However, the opposite is going on, since the Americans are expanding the attacks along with the Israelis. And as I said, it's a counterproductive from the Iranian point of view. So in a way, what's going on now is what we see is I would say, the last capabilities of Iranian offensive means, which are mainly now drones and short-range missiles, when the long-range missiles were attacked and possibly destroyed by the Israeli Air Force and the U.S. Air Force. Apparently, the main target of Israeli Air Force during the last couple of days were the missile launchers in order to affect the capability of launching barrages towards Israel, of course, and the Gulf areas. And then we can see that the Iranians are focusing on using drones, which are less heavy with respect to warheads. So this is an important development, which means that the Iranians are getting close to ending their arsenal, and this will have an effect in the coming days.
We'll have to wait and see for that, because there are also, as per reports, missives going out by countries such as Saudi Arabia as well as UAE to President Trump to not escalate the war, to try and contain the theater of war, to stop it. Because at the end of it, it is these countries which are also being dragged into as collateral damage.